Hey, what's up, guys? Today is the big day. Predator Badlands is upon us, and I have not long ago just gotten back home from going to the cinema and watching Predator Badlands. And what I was thinking when I walked out of the screen was, what did I just watch? I would say I was not a fan of the movie whatsoever, really, as somebody who has been into the Predator films for a long time. I started with the first movie. But yeah, when it comes to this film, I would say I was not a fan of it really at all whatsoever. It does have a few bits that were good, but on the whole, it was just, I found it just too crazy, too over the top, and too cartoonish, and too humorous, or, you know, trying to be humorous, but I was pretty much just cringing through the whole movie, to be honest with you. I was just thinking, like, how do we get from, if you think back to the original movie, just how grounded it was, how, not horror scary, but it was very thrilling, wasn't it? The mystery of the Predator and, like, how deadly it felt. Like, yeah, how did we get from, like, Billy going, there's something out there waiting for us, and it ain't no man, to like, essentially a Baby Yoda sort of deal, which is in this movie. So I'll go through the movie and all the sort of positive and negative aspects, and what I thought of it, and then towards the end of the video, I will sort of break down the story into a spoiler part. So we'll begin with non-spoilers and my general thoughts, then later on in the review, I'll get to the spoilers. So something to note is, despite me being a Predator fan for a very long time, this is actually the first Predator movie I've ever actually seen in the cinema. Because, last movie, Prey, that was a streaming film. The Predator before that, I was planning on going to see it, but I just didn't get around to it for some reason. Predators, I just waited for the Blu-ray to come out. The two Alien vs Predator movies, I think I was too young to go and see them. I just waited for the DVDs to come out for those. And then the original Predator 1 and Predator 2, they both came out before I was even born. So yeah, that's an interesting thing to note. This actually being the first ever Predator movie I've seen in the cinema. So one positive aspect I will say is that the movie was well paced and it didn't get boring. But generally, overall, I just was not a fan of really anything about it, really, to be honest with you. So yeah, the plot is basically what the trailer already showed, really. Deck, he's a runt predator, so he's smaller than a normal predator. He's not as strong. He's only about the size of a human. So yeah, he has to... Well, basically, his brother gets killed by the clan leader, and he goes to the planet, which is it's like the most dangerous planet in the universe. Even like things like the grass is like razor sharp. So I did actually think the planet and the fauna and flora were really cool, and it's got some very cool creatures, like the big monsters that he fights. I actually did like those. But yeah, just in general, just the story and everything and the characters, it just felt so cartoony and silly and over the top. I thought it seemed like the sort of thing a 12-year-old would come up with, or something you would read like that a fan would come up with, but you read it and you think, I don't think that would work in an actual movie. Maybe for like a video game or something, but I don't think a Predator movie following the Predator really works for me. And I feel just all the mystery of the Yautja, because that's what made them so compelling, wasn't it? It was the mystery, and that they were out there stalking you, but you didn't know where they were, and you couldn't see them half the time because they were camouflaged, and then they would just like sort of strike when the character wasn't expecting it and pick people off one by one. But I feel the mystery and the intrigue is just totally gone now. You know, we basically know everything about them, about the Yautja. And that's another thing to mention, is that in this movie they actually literally call them the Yautja, which I think is the first time I've actually heard that on in a movie. So there aren't any actual humans in this movie. The main character is the Predator, whose name is Deck, and then there is a android as well, who's like the second main character. I think her name was Thea or something like that. They sort of have to team up because he wants to find this big creature to sort of be his rite of passage, because that's what he wanted to do before he was sort of chosen to be executed by the clan leader. But then he escapes and he's on this planet, and he wants to like fulfill that to prove himself. It's like this big unkillable creature. But I'll get more into the storyline in the spoiler section. So yeah, when I was watching the movie, I was just cringing through the whole thing pretty much. You know how people, since Disney bought Alien and Predator, people are always saying they're going to be Disneyfied, and I never really agreed with that, because there have been some things that come out since they've been owned by Disney, because we got Prey and we got Alien Romulus, and I thought they still actually did feel like Alien and Predator movies. But this, I would actually agree with that. I think it did feel like it has been Disneyfied a lot. Just a lot of the silly stuff, like it has loads of cringe, like Marvel humour, like in absolute spades. I didn't laugh at anything, I was just wincing. That Baby Yoda, like baby monkey creature thing, that was just ridiculous, I thought, what am I watching? How do we get from, the original Predator films to, this silly, like, cutesy, babyish creature that tags along with them and they sort of adopt it? The Predator design is just too uncanny, and I think it just shows us too much. The android as well, loads of people actually really liked it, but I found it to be quite obnoxious and just annoying, to be honest. It's literally played just like a silly comedy relief character out of a Marvel film, pretty much. And I didn't like how the Predators actually spoke to each other, like in a spoken language with subtitles. I think that's just giving too much away, and I just found that cringe and silly as well. So this is directed by Dan Trachtenberg, who directed Prey before, and I actually did like Prey on the whole. I didn't think it was perfect, or I didn't think it was quite as good as people made it out to be at the time, but at least that did feel like a Predator movie. I'll definitely say I preferred Prey to Predator Badlands. And also Alien Romulus, that came out about a year ago, because you'll get probably, because this is a negative review, you'll probably get those people who are like, oh, you're just a hater, like soy boys who use words like y'all and things like that, those types. So I actually did like Alien Romulus, actually. If you were going to say that, just call me a hater or some ridiculous insult like that just because I didn't like a movie, which I probably see that happening a lot. They'll be like, oh, you're just toxic. Oh. So yeah, I do have a couple more bullet points here which I'll look through. Sorry if this review is a bit all over the place. I'm literally doing it unscripted with just a few bullet points I've done for myself to help me remember. So we've got Weyland-Yutani who are in the film. That was cool, a cool part, because there's no humans. They're all synthetics in the movie. So there is the main character. There's like another one that is the same model as her. It looks like her, and it's the same actress. Thea is the one. She's like the damaged one, the second main character. She has like a different personality as well, because she's all like humorous and cringy, but there is actually a reason, to be fair. It's because she says that she's been tuned differently, like emotionally, to be more sensitive, to like better understand the planet and the animals and stuff like that. But that's just an excuse for having like Marvel cringe humour in it. So just because they explained it, I don't think that sort of fixes it, if that makes sense. But yeah, Weyland-Yutani was cool. And the baddie, the other android that was the same actress, she was the bad guy in the movie as well, basically, and she was like more serious and wanted to capture the Predator, wanted to capture the creature and stuff like that. CGI. this film is like, it's just plastered in CGI, like literally everything except the woman, android. Everything is CGI. It looks more like an Avatar film than a Predator film, but I didn't think the CGI looked very good. It wasn't convincing. It looked it looked more like an animated movie than a live action movie. It's just everything was CGI. The creatures were cool. I did talk about that earlier. You got like that big thing that looked like a meatball with the tentacles. That was quite cool. When the Predator like sort of has to fight that. There's them like elephant looking things from the trailer as well. That was quite cool too. I liked the big creatures and how he actually did hunt a few big creatures as well. Something else a lot of people have been talking about was that I think in America it was rated PG-13, but here in England it was 12A. A lot of people took issue with that because it wasn't rated like 18 or whatever. But the reason behind that is because it did still have a lot of violence and gore. It's just it wasn't human, so there wasn't red blood and people getting killed and chopped up and stuff. But, you know, there's like lots of Predator blood, lots of synthetic androids getting smashed up and their white fluid going everywhere. The big creatures getting killed and stuff like that. So there is a lot of violence and gore. Just it's not actual like human. That's why it's rated lower. But I don't think that really affects it. To be fair, I don't really subscribe to that. The movie's automatically bad just because it has a lower age rating. So yeah, in general, I didn't really like it. To be fair, I was just cringing in my seat like the whole time. I'm actually kind of glad in the cinema they turned the lights off, because I think if anyone could see me, I'd probably be just sat there red in my face. I was just like embarrassed and cringing so bad watching it. So I think that is everything for the non-spoilers and my sort of general impression. Now I'll quickly run through the story and some spoilers. So the movie actually begins on Yautja Prime, the Predator home planet, which is the first time we've seen the Predator home world in an actual movie, which was cool. It's only right at the start of the movie and then right at the end of the movie, but we see Deck, the main Predator, he's on like that floating like hover bike thing, and he enters this cave, and then he does battle with another Predator, and there's a fight scene with the other Predator, and then it turns out that the other Predator is his brother, so they don't like kill each other, but the deal is like Deck is a young runt, but he wants to prove himself, but then their father, who's the clan elder, he's the one from the trailers, like with the big horns on his helmet and the white dreadlocks. He comes and he thinks Deck needs to be culled because, you know, he's too small and weak according to him. So he's about to... No, he orders Deck's brother to execute him, but he doesn't. And Deck's brother and the bad elder clan leader Predator sort of fight each other, and then Deck's brother gets killed by him, like we've seen in the trailer. But before he dies, he sort of gets Deck sort of trapped inside the ship so he can't get hurt by the elder Predator. And then just before he dies, he sort of sets on his wrist gauntlet for the ship to fly off, and it leaves the Yautja Prime and lands on I can't remember the name of the planet, the deadly planet where most of the movie takes place on, but he sort of like ejects out of it and then sort of comes crashing down onto the planet, and then he starts looking for the big creature. I can't remember what it's called now. It had a name, the big creature, but I can't remember. So yeah, he starts off on his travel to find the big monster. Then he comes to that part in the trailer, that field with them like exploding spiky plant things, and that's where he sees Thea, the android, and she's been like cut in half, and she sort of shouts to him and sort of offers to help him. And there's these like big flying like dragon looking creatures, and one goes to attack him because it drops rocks down to make the exploding plant things explode, and then the needles from that like paralyze Deck. So he's about to get killed, but then Thea saves him by killing the dragon looking creature thing. And then sort of he recovers, and then she sort of tries to convince him to take her with him because, you know, she can't move because she doesn't have any legs. And initially he doesn't want to take her, but she sort of convinces him that you know, she can be used as a tool basically. But what she is actually doing is luring him back to Weyland-Yutani because that's what she's been programmed to do. So they continue, they're in another forest and they get attacked by the big, I call it the meatball with the tentacles, that big creature. They get attacked by that and they overcome it. And then they meet the, like, baby monkey thing, I think I called it earlier. The silly, like, sort of cutesy baby Yoda, silly sort of vibe creature. Oh my god, just thinking about it. Ugh. So what happened after that? Yeah, they continue on and then they find where the Weyland-Yutani base was, that the big creature destroyed it, and that's how like Tessa's team got destroyed, and she got, not Tessa, Thea. Tessa's the baddie android, Thea's the goodie android. That's how she got chopped in half. And then she sort of starts fixing herself, and the Predator like sets off an explosion and lures the big creature there, and then that's where the Predator has the showdown with the big monster, the big creature. Then the baddie android comes, like, with their her army of synthetics, and when Deck battles the big creature, it can't be killed. Like, you know, you chop a part off it, it just grows back, so it can't be killed, this big creature. But she uses like this Predator like bomb thing that sort of detonates, but it like freezes like all the stuff around it. So I think it's about to kill Deck, but she uses that and freezes him and the big creature. And then they get captured, and then it turns out that the Tessa, the bad android, she's a baddie, and the goodie android, she decides to side with Deck instead of Weyland-Yutani. And they manage to escape. Deck comes to free Thea from Weyland-Yutani because she's going to be disposed of because she's served her purpose, I think. And they that's where they fight all the other androids. And then the big creature like fights the bad android, like that bad android. She's wearing like a big power loader type of thing, and there's actually a bit, it actually looks like in Aliens, you know, where Ripley is wearing it and it sort of zooms up to her, and I was thinking, please don't say "get away from her, you bitch," or please don't sort of like replicate the line, and thank goodness they didn't do that. It was just the visual of it just looked like that. It was a callback to that, because that is something that bothered me about Alien Romulus, was where the android Andy, he said "get away from her, you bitch," and that was so cringy. But yeah, luckily they didn't do that in this movie, thank God. She fights, well, sort of together, the Predator, the good android, and the big monster and the monkey thing fight the bad android Tessa in the power loader, and between them all they sort of defeat her and the big creature eats her. But she uses one of them freeze things to freeze it, and then because she's got a plasma caster that she stole from the Predator ship, I think, and then she blows it apart from inside, so she kills the big creature. And then she's about to kill Thea, but then the Predator kills her. Then after that, they get in the ship, and then they go back to Yautja Prime, and so that Deck can get revenge on the elder Predator that killed his brother. They fight each other, and Deck wins and kills him. and the monkey thing is like, it's like grown up a bit, so it's a bit more like resembles more the big monster, because the monkey thing, it actually turned out it was a baby of the big monster that can't be killed. It's like a baby, one of those, and that comes and bites off the bad predator's head. Yeah, Deck decides he doesn't want to be a part of that clan, even though he's proved himself because he defeated the elder, but he doesn't, he just kills him anyway, and he sort of starts his own clan, basically. So it's him and Thea and the monkey monster thing. And then right at the end, like, a ship comes, and I was thinking it was going to be either the bad guy, Grendel King from the animated movie. I thought it was either going to be that, or I thought it might have been the survivors from that. The fighter pilot, the samurai, and the Viking woman. I thought it might be them because they escape in a ship at the end, don't they? But no, actually, the Predator says that that's his mother, because the elder is his father, so this is his mother. So I don't know if this is going to carry on with another bad Predator that's his mother, but it's sort of setting it for possibly to carry on. I'm not sure, but yeah, it sort of ends open-endedly. So yeah, that was sort of my rambling way of describing how the story went on, which probably made no sense whatsoever. But I wasn't really a fan of the movie. It's just I just cringed. I just found it really cringy, to be honest with you. I think it's just way too far apart from what the Predator movies are. So I didn't really like it. But let me know if you've been and seen it yet, or whether you want to. Did you like it? Did you not like it? Let me know. Thanks for watching my review, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.